Hey everybody, it's your Professor David Britt, coming to you today from Zion National Park, Kolob Canyon. Spending the next few days here in Utah over Memorial Day, trying to beat the crowds in here this weekend. So it's very early in the morning, but this is just a lovely place. That's the Kolob Canyon area. We're going to be doing some hiking a little bit later, but I wanted to make sure I had a chance to talk to you about Module 4 coming up. In Module 4, you have 2 chapters you'll be reading. In Chapter 8, it's about evaluation. Evaluation is a critical piece as you begin to find peer-reviewed sources. You need to evaluate not only the source, but how does the material apply to the points you're making. Simply dropping in a source for the sake of having a source is not what we're looking for. We're wanting to make sure that you evaluate the source as it applies to the point you're making. And so Chapter 8 talks about that. And then in Chapter 9, we talk about problem solving. We've already talked a bit about this when you use the 6-stop model, because the 6-stop model is designed as a problem-solving, paper-writing function. So there'll be some good application that you can put together on that. And then in the APA manual, you have 2 chapters to read. Chapter 4, Chapter 5 talks about style. Chapter 5 talks about figures and tables. I'm a big fan of these because sometimes rather than having 3 or 4 paragraphs of narrative, a table, a figure can speak volumes. And so it shows you how to format those tables and figures into proper APA. So that's always good. And then there's a link to the CSU Online Library this week that gives you some additional information that should be helpful. The discussion board this week is about compare and contrast. Think about that. Compare and contrast is not only just an academic exercise that helps, but in a proposal for your professional career, I mean, many times I would assume that your boss comes forward, or let's say sometimes. If I say many, that's a definitive word, right? So let's say sometimes your boss may come forward and give you 2 or 3 options and say, what I want you to do is give me the best option. And so that is a compare-contrast exercise. And so there are some strategies you can use when you use compare and contrast. The short answer this week is about problem-solving techniques. So make sure as you look at those, you begin to apply those to your paper. And then your assignment this week is about sources and claims. And this goes back to evaluation and problem solving. You need to make sure that you properly vet your sources and the claims that they make. I'm going to be looking at your supporting material, and then I'm going to be making sure that your solutions that you're presenting match the problems that you've brought up coming forward. And then the test this week is on source credibility. All right? Hope you have a great week. Even though I'm on the road now, as an aside, my wife and I just sold our house, so we're going to be living out of a suitcase for the next 6 or 7 months while our house is being built. But I will be totally accessible. All right? Take care. Talk to you soon.